Fremantle had never beaten Brisbane at the Gabba, and it had been 6 years since they'd lowered the Lions' colours anywhere. But if this was the night to improve that appalling record, it wasn't evident from the early stages, as the hosts hit 4 of the game's first 5 goals.
Riscatelli, he's got plenty of bend on that, that'll go through.
He is calling on Simon Black.
Faced with a deficit of 17 points before anyone had raised much of a sweat, Freo looked to their leader, and he stepped up with 2 majors in as many minutes.
Of Matthew Pavlich, never in doubt, Dockers inch closer.
When you talk about the Dockers' big guns, there's another name that springs to mind.
Sandilands too big.
How good's that?
And the Sandilands special established the goal that put Freo in front for the first time since an opening behind.
But now they've got a genuine lead.
Holding a slender 3-point lead heading into the second term, the Dockers reasserted themselves by grabbing back-to-back goals.
Holds its line, he's got it.
Even when Pavlich fell short, his eager teammates were on hand to apply the finishing touch.
But it hasn't made the distance, doesn't matter. Fife, in correct position, kicks the goal.
The Dockers were dominant in the second quarter, fully exploiting Brisbane's depleted defensive stocks.
Palmer on the left boot. Gets it through, and he's kicked the goal.
Trailing by 23 at half-time, the Lions' response was exactly what you'd expect from them, with a furious start yielding 2 quick goals.
He nails it.
Just when Michael Voss's men were building some momentum, a Paul Hazelby major settled things down nicely for the Dockers.
Never in doubt.
In reality, though, Brisbane were just hanging on, and it was only a couple of rare misses by Pavlich that kept them in the contest.
Third goal, no!
Doesn't look like it. He's playing some good football except finishing.
Normally, that would spell doom for the Dockers, but the 2010 model is made of sterner stuff, and Ballantyne, then Hazelby, both joined their skipper as multiple goal kickers to keep Brisbane at bay.
It's as easy as that.
It had been a somewhat frustrating night for Brendan Favola, but just before the last change, he showed that he had lost none of his touch or power.
Bring back the barrel!
Fev's thundering talk put Brisbane back to within 20 and gave them a glimmer of hope, but the last thing they could afford was to gift Freo a cheapie.
50 against the Waterboy in the protected area. 3 goals to Pavlich, an important goal for the Dockers.
The injury-hit Lions refused to roll over, though, and launched a gutsy rearguard action that produced the next 4 6-pointers and brought the Gabba crowd to life.
McGrath to make it 1! Yes!
Freo had to come up with something special to halt the Brisbane Express, and even though it wasn't pretty, Michael Johnson's major proved critical.
It falls for Johnson!
After Simon Black had goaled, Brisbane were back to within a kick, but the pressure proved just too much.
He couldn't cope with it.
In fact, he's kicked it out in the full. It's the worst possible result.
The Dockers had been let off the hook, and Chris Mayne made sure that Brisbane's brave comeback was officially over.
Mayne running onto it, and kicking a big goal. That should be enough for the Dockers.
That capped a famous, if not nerve-wracking, victory for Fremantle. Their 6th in 7 starts, and another impressive indication of just how far this club has come. David Rowlands, Big Pond Sport.